created to reign. What does that mean? You are royalty. You were created to win. There's a definition that says to wear a crown.
From your beginning to your end, you were created to reign. It's time to own your royalty, 'cause you are the essence of queen. Oh, that's something now. If I want it, I'm gonna get it. I make it rain, I make it rain. If I want it, I'm gonna get it. I make it rain, oh, I make it rain.
I was created to reign. Here's what happened. Now, when she shines, I don't have to fool with it. I don't have to worry about it. I can celebrate with her because I was created to reign. She was created to reign. We can rock together. We can rock our royalty together. I know who I am.
If I want it, I'm gonna get it. I make it rain.
Yes.
I make it rain. Oh, if I want it, I'm gonna get it. I make it rain.
Yes.
I make it rain.
You better. You better. Yes, I'm so excited to be back for another episode of Standing in the Rain. It is awesome. Where y'all been? Right here, rocked, live, locked, loaded with me, vibing with me. I'm so excited. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you who I was. I'm Brook Rosemond, the Rainmaker, here for another episode of Standing in the Rain. And you are my rain dancers. I appreciate you so much. Please, please, please subscribe, share, like, subscribe, share, like. That could be a song. Subscribe, share, like. Subscribe, share. You want to get in there? No? Okay.
Subscribe, share, like.
Subscribe, share, like. I love it. I'm so excited. So I have the most amazing hotness for you today. So if you're new to Standing in the Rain, welcome. I love it. I love that you're here. What we do here, all I do here, all day, every day, all I'm about is trying to point you to your greatness. And I'm using this vehicle to do that. So you rocking with me. My hope is that me bringing you amazing people, my guests, my amazing guests, that something will be sparked in you to be enlightened, turned on to the greatness that lives on the inside of you. So what is this rain word? What does that mean? Again, if you're new to me, I don't know where you've been, but if you're new to me, rain means to overcome, to dominate, to superabound, to win, to the essence of win, to sway, to have influence. You'll get, to sway, to have influence, to royalty, to wear a crown. Yeah, yes, I love it. He says no.
Oh my God!
Oh yes, it's awesome. So this is going to be the most amazing episode ever because I say that about all of them, and I mean it about all of them, because every time I bring you somebody, I truly am sold out to their amazingness. I just think they're wonderful. And this one right here, so this one, they're going to be two like this. That's it. Two like this. These are what I call the legacy edition. They're the legacy edition of Standing in the Rain because I have with me one of my legacies, if you will. Is that the right way to say it? Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I think that's right. It's going to be right because, when you have a child, and when I was pregnant with my first son, my friend of mine told me, he's like, well, welcome to this new reality. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you are about to know what it feels like to have your heart walking around on the outside of you. And I was like, oh my gosh. And man, was he telling the truth. That's just absolutely crazy. So allow me to introduce you to one of my hearts, my first heart. This is my first. Yes, you better give it up for Brook Allen Rosemond. Let's go. Use your government name. Let's go. Say hi to the people, Brook. I have to. So it was really important for me to make sure that I make room for y'all to encounter my sons. So you get to meet Brook today. This dude inspires me, man. He just absolutely inspires me. So for you, because you're a guest, even though you may know this, but you're a guest on Standing in the Rain with your mama. I know, it's awesome. You better loosen up. You're going to be dancing when this is over. Well, yeah, you heard it. Wah, 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 wah. There you go. There you go.
It sounds nothing alike.
It sounds just like it. It sounds just. Don't hate on me in front of these people, Brooke. So anyway, if you don't know, I always, in every episode of Standing in the Rain, for y'all who are new to me, and just, even if you're not, just, you're vibing with me, that we always have a raindrop of the day that we vibe around, the drop of the day. And I always try to get my mind, into, kind of really focused in on the guest I have for you and what makes sense that we can vibe around. I thought long and hard about this young man. Obviously, I know him, but yet I'm still learning him every day, and he's teaching me who he is. And so I was thinking about it. I was like, what makes sense as an appropriate drop for you? This is what I came up with. So the drop that we vibing with today that I want y'all to kind of settle into and let it sink down into your crawl spaces is a conversation, a vibe session with Brook Rosemond. The drop for the day is play big. Come on, give it up. Come on. You like that, don't you? Yeah, you like that, don't you? You can talk. What does it mean?
You haven't explained.
I'm gonna explain it. So this, it remains to be seen if it's a good idea to invite your children onto your podcast. We'll figure that out. But we're gonna figure this out. So play big. So Brooke he still does, but early on when he first started, he played basketball a lot. And we used to always say, my husband and I used to always say to him, like, we get in there because he's a taller kid, a bigger kid, and we'd always say to him, like, Brooke, hey man, play big. Play big. And I just like, what we meant by that in that context, I don't know if you ever knew that, what we meant, I don't know what it really means, but what we meant was like, let them know you there, right? Be powerful. You got all this size, all this presence, all this everything. They better feel that. Play big, man. Don't shrink back to anybody. That's what we meant in that context. And when I thought about you for Standing in the Rain, and why I really thought it was important that I make room for your generation and that people hear from you, play big just seemed appropriate. Play big means to be, uber strong and powerful. And that's what I watch you being. So I'm gonna have a total bunch of mom moments. Y'all gonna have to deal with this, but it's whatever. You don't shake your head. It's cool. It's cool. But I need to see, Brooke is about to graduate in what? What's your graduation date?
June 6th.
June 6th. He's about to graduate from high school. I know that's right. You better give me some. I know that's right. We give myself. We did that. So about to graduate on June 6th. From C Prep, shout out to the C Prep family, Dr. Underwood, and all the staff and the people that just, oh my gosh, they're absolutely amazing. And this man is changed because of his affiliation with Cornerstone Christian College Preparatory School with Dr. Underwood. It's amazing. But he's about to graduate and he's heading off to the Mecca. He's heading off to Howard University in DC. You better give me some again. We're going to do this all because, parents, shout out to yourself. If y'all put up with these children and you raise them up and they do it right, that's all right. I'm so proud of you, Brooke.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how does that feel? Because there's a long journey between, I'll be very honest with you. Being full disclosure, Brooke probably knows this. There was a few moments I was like, I told my husband at times, like, I don't think he's ever leaving. I'm not sure. I don't know what he's going to do. I just don't know how this is going to work out. He just didn't know how nothing was clicking. Mm-hmm. It seemed like, talk about that. Like, how do you get, I know you, so it's, but I want to make sure that they understand the journey that you're on, because this is not just some sort of like, I woke up one day and decided to go to Howard. That's a big deal, man. Talk about the journey for a moment. We'll vibe around that. Just talk about the journey. How you get here.
You want me to talk about how I got here?
Yeah.
How I got here. I don't know. I just kind of ended up here. I don't know.
You didn't.
I just really starting out not knowing who I was fully. Not helping me find out who I was in the wrong environments.
What does that mean? So I don't want to gloss over that. Not knowing who you were fully. What does that mean?
like just being comfortable with who you are. Like now, like I have YouTube, starting like businesses, and just being comfortable in my own skin, and just doing what I want to do comfortably and unapologetically. But that's now. But back then, it was like I was scared to do even the smallest of things because I thought of what people were gonna think or whatever.
So you're 18 now. When did that start? That when did you notice or have a kind of a there's a kid out there, there's somebody looking and they're like, they may feel how you used to feel or be where you used to be. When did that start for you where you're like, you didn't know who you were, where you were aware that you like kind of, I don't know, I get this kind of image of, that you're just kind of like going wherever the wind's taking you a bit. When did that start for you?
Really 10th grade year when I transferred schools, but
so your sophomore year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even then I didn't really believe it. You just kind of like tell yourself until you like almost it just turns into like a lifestyle almost. Like so really just 10th grade year on the basketball court, first year of varsity. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, all right.
First year of varsity and yeah, you just kind of like I kept telling myself like, yeah, you're him. Like you're just like no like you're not better than anybody, but the mindset of being I'm going to be the best at whatever I'm doing at that time is just that was the mindset that I had. And then eventually it just became a lifestyle because the environment helped me believe that too.
That's what you felt like in 10th grade when you transferred to Cornerstone.
That's what I told myself in 10th grade. And then 11th and 12th grade year, that's what it really became.
So let's talk about before 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was there. Sort of. I mean, in the sense that I'm there, I'm at all the games, I'm watching you, you're growing up in the house, I'm watching you, but I don't know if I'm fully aware that you were not, that you were like not, that you don't know who you are. I mean, I don't know if I fully know that. I know that you, I know you were frustrated. I know at school, your freshman year, you did not click, where you were at all, but I mean, what was going on for you inside?
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody knows that they don't know who they are until you see something different. So
True. That's good. That's good.
That's really like you don't like. I knew like the whole time I always wanted to be that guy, but
What guy?
the guy that I am now. but like you can always want something until it's like you pray for something or ask for something until you get it, and then it's like, oh shoot, now what do I do with it? And that's what it was 10th grade year. It's like I wanted to be that guy on varsity, or I wanted to play this and I wanted to do that and be the guy they look to, but then as soon as I got it, it's like, oh, this is way harder or whatever than it looks. But then you start getting into the groove of things, and then you actually turn into that guy, and then it's like now they like only you can stop you at that point.
So what was stopping you though, being that? Let me help make sure I'm defining in real work, because we're talking about playing big. Mm-hmm. That's how I see you now. The way you approach, the way, the same way I meant it when you were going on that court back then is the way you approach things now, where you're like, I'm going to Howard, play big. I'm going to do these things. I'm going to get my grades. We'll talk about that. But that guy, make sure I'm defining him right. You wanted to be that guy. Who is that guy? That's the guy you are right now, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not fully there.
Sure.
But yeah, to a certain extent.
Define that guy.
The guy everybody looks to when, like, well, if we're talking basketball wise, when those final seconds are ticking off that clock, I want the ball in my hands. The guy that I refuse to. There's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5, but I just refuse to work for somebody else, because why not create it myself?
I love that. I absolutely love that. So wait. So that guy, you told me who that guy is. I want the ball in my hand on the court. Who's that guy outside of that?
Somebody that can see, because on the court it translates, because when the ball is in your hands, then you have that decision to put people on, to give them that assist, to score the ball yourself. So in life, it would be whether it's through business or anything, I have the opportunity to put the people that were there with me when it started, to just help them out, to give them opportunity, to give them opportunity to make their own way, and just everybody win at the same time. It's not me.
You know what's funny about that is that, you know, I mean, all the years of watching you play, you tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, just this is a bit of a side journey, but to me, you light up and have the most fun on the court when you actually are providing the assist.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch.
It's
you like dropping dimes on people too, but you know,
it's
is that
a
the right
it's a
phrase?
balance.
Is it drop dimes?
I mean,
did I say it right?
However you want
Throw
to
a
say
dime,
it. I mean,
dime pass. Is that right?
Whatever
Did I
you
do it
want
right?
to say it as.
Okay,
But,
go ahead.
I mean, it's a balance though. I mean, some people are better at one thing than another, but I feel like the best players are the ones that have that balance.
The balance between knowing when to dish it off to give someone the assist and when to take it yourself.
Yes, it's always about making that right decision. That's what separates the good players from the great players.
And you said that translates off the court into.
Yeah, because you can't just hand it out every time. You got to teach people. So, like on the court, you might miss a pass, but it's not just your fault. It might be just your fault, but you can go back and say, "Hey, here, go cut back door." Then I'll get it to you right there. That's the better pass than if I was just passing to you and then you do it. I can't just hand it to you every time. You got to teach them how to get it there. So,
I got
it's
you.
just making everybody better at the same time.
That's good. So let's now go back. Let's get Pat before sophomore year. You and you know, and whether it's freshman year or before that, you said you always wanted to be that guy. What was stopping you from being that guy then? I mean, because we were trying. I mean, it wasn't us. I'm trying to tell you, we were trying. Everybody out here, rain dances. It wasn't us. I mean, I'm just joking.
You can only do so much. That's home life. When you go away, the wrong environment or not putting yourself in a position, or the wrong environment could do a lot. So when you get put in the right environment and see what could be and what the possibilities truly are, then you turn into something different.
I think that's a drop within a drop, Brooke. I appreciate that because, you know, this is, you know, the drop is for today is play big. But you're saying, and I was joking, but you clued in on that. You're saying, yeah, my home life was good and y'all are saying the right stuff, but then I'd get away from that and that
it contradicts it.
It contradicted. It dominated. Is that what it did? So how come then it, you know, so talk to me about that because I feel like I have a little bit of a peek behind the curtain talking to you because we wonder as parents and if, you know, like, you know, we spend time pouring those things in. And for all you parents out there, I mean, this is worth you listening to and paying attention to. Spend those times pouring those things in because we're trying to counteract that. Mm-hmm. But you're saying you hear it, but you still have to go out and what happens? You go out and you hear your mom, your dad, you hear me in your ear, but then
the people that really are the ones that are supposed to put you in the positions to make that team or whatever are saying something totally different.
Okay. They're controlling something that you want.
Yeah. Not
That's
that
good.
you guys don't control stuff that we want. It's just the fact that you guys are building a foundation for us to have tough skin so that it doesn't affect us as much when they don't give us what we want or we worked as hard as the next person and still didn't get it. But it's the fact that they still control what you want. So it's like what they say can land a little bit harder than other things.
So you know, when I ask you what was the impediment to you being that guy before we transfer you to Cornerstone, one of the things is just the people who had basically the ability to determine your fate from a basketball standpoint, which is what you were, or period, right?
Educational standpoint too.
Education. Okay. So there were people in authority over you outside of the home that landed some shots, I guess, in terms of who you are or what you could do or not do. Is that right?
Yeah, because it was like they always tell you, well, in public school, the public schools here, they always tell you you better do good your first whatever because it's impossible or it's really hard to get your GPA back up, but then they don't tell you or show you how you can get it back up or that there is a possibility so they just always speak about the negative instead of trying to teach you how to get to the place where you want to be, because everybody's going to mess up.
And so and you're saying, I guess that messes with you, and then you start believing them.
You believe that, and then on top of that, then they counter back with okay, so now that you didn't get the grades like we told you to get, now you're not going to college, or you might not go to the college that you want to do.
That was actually told to you?
Yes.
Wow. What'd you finish with?
A 3.7, 3.64.
What? What'd you say again?
3.7.
Give me this out. I love it. I love it. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So the message then, because I don't want to lose it, those messages have been given out to somebody watching here.
Yeah.
Say something to them. I mean, there's
it's a difference for me though, because you guys were feeding something different at home, so it could only go so far. But I've seen people that have been told the same thing to me, and they folded way faster than I never folded, but like they folded because they didn't have people in their ear even giving them any bit of positivity. So the message really is just keep pushing. It doesn't matter what they say at all, because rankings don't matter, grades don't matter. I mean, you want to strive to be the best you can be, but none of that stuff matters when your purpose is coming from God anyway.
I love it. I love it. So we're talking about pre-shift to Cornerstone. And I remember, let me back up, because I want to pause something too, because we know, like I said, we used to tell you all the time to play big, and I want to make sure I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about this. There was this point, this is probably one of my favorite moments watching you play. Actually, no, I wasn't watching you play. I was at your game. The coach wouldn't play you. And that's neither here nor there now. But, and I used to go to those games and I would cry, not because I desperately needed to see you play for me. I hurt when you hurt. But I remember something. There was a kid, and I don't remember their names, and it doesn't matter anyway, but there was a kid, you didn't play, but there was a kid that he did something good in the game. I don't know if he dunked or tried to dunk or did something. He did something. And you had sat on that bench the entire time. And then you stood up. And that's what made me cry at the game. You stood up and you were like the first person out on the floor cheering for him. Mm-hmm. To me, that's playing big, man. I mean, talk to that kid too, because I think not only, that stuff is landing because they hear it. Again, we're talking about it through the lens of sports, but it doesn't have to be just sports, but they hear it and then they don't get a chance to counteract it. They're sitting on the bench, literally or figuratively. There's something in you that made you get up and cheer for that kid doing the thing that you wanted to do.
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, like I said before, like I've always been the person to like, I want to see everybody win at the same time. Even like everybody has their time. So, I mean, even if it's not your time at that particular time, your time is going to come at like, I know it now. I always say the tables are going to turn at a certain point. I know that now, but I guess that was that spirit back then. But I just have words for it now. But yeah, like the tables are going to turn.
That's good. So now we're move forward, and we're going to talk about because we're going to talk about all the things that you're doing and that as you get ready before you get ready to go to college. But we transition. We get to your freshman year, and that was not a good year. I shouldn't say that. It was a rough year. Yeah. You were not this guy. You were not a happy guy. You were not well, you talk to it. I mean, I don't want to describe you because that's from a parent's standpoint. I mean, describe the year before, and then we'll talk about, the transition after when we move over.
Freshman year?
Yeah, your freshman year. Like, where were you? I
don't even remember most of my freshman year, honestly. I don't know. In a school, just trying to find my way. Like, you got to find your thing or who you are. And I don't know, in a rough year, your freshman year, it's not helping the fact that you're still trying to find who you are. So, I mean, I don't really remember a lot of my freshman year.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. So we transition you, we get this opportunity, and we look at this school who's been here for a long, long time, but we just did not.
30 years.
30 years.
30 years.
Right? But we not paid any attention to it for you guys. Timing is everything. But then it just became the right time, and we interviewed and transitioned you to Cornerstone. And I remember I used to ask you guys, I'm like, what do you think? Do you remember this? I would say, what do you think? And you're like, I miss hallways, and I miss all these different things.
It.
Yeah, you hated it? Yeah, talk about that.
I was uncomfortable, but I guess I found out later. Dad used to tell me all the time that you have to be uncomfortable. So it's good to be uncomfortable. That's what he said. And then he told me to give it a year, and I think he knew what he was doing because a year is crazy. Like, but after like the first 3 months, I was like, yeah, but. And I think basketball helped too, even though I went there not knowing if they had a basketball.
Yeah, we didn't
team
know if there was a basketball program.
Yeah.
We had no idea. Yeah. You hated it though. I knew you didn't like it. You hated it?
Yeah, I hated it.
That's wow. That's awesome.
Like they made me talk in front of people and just, yeah. We never prayed in school before, anything in that. And then fast forward like 3-4 months later, they say, hey, you're starting. And then you play the full game without coming out. It's like, this is really what I asked for the whole time. It's just a shot, but then it was more than a shot because then it created something more. And it's, yeah.
What did that feel like? So I missed that game. I was out of town, and it was I was on a business trip, and you went from, I hope that the coach puts me in for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, to you're starting, and you're playing the whole game. And everybody's looking at you. Talk about that. What did that feel like? Because I think, play big is our drop for the day. I mean, you got to be ready for your shot. How did that feel for you?
I was ready and wasn't. Like, looking back now, that's a horrible game because I only had like 11 points. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I was tired. I wasn't ready to play a full game without. Yeah, but at the same time, I needed it because it created something that I am now. That it fueled that whole I'm that guy type of mentality, and yeah, like the whole Kobe mentality, the whole Mamba mentality type vibe.
So you play that first game at C-Prep, and you get turned on to possible. True?
Yeah.
That right? That's what I heard you say.
Even getting blown out that game, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to expound a little bit more on this idea of like being uncomfortable. He says like it's good to be uncomfortable. How do you work through it? I mean, because I don't want to just assume people like that. I was uncomfortable and then I became comfortable. How do you work through that? I mean, for somebody listening, certainly too, like how do you work through that? Because hate is a strong word, and now that I look back on it and the way you were acting, that's probably, yeah, okay. How do you work through that, to get to a place where it begins to work for you? What's that look like? Because I didn't do that. That was all, we can't do that for you as parents.
Wait, how do you
work through the uncomfortable, it's an invaluable skill set. You are about to experience it all over again. When you step on Howard's campus, you about to be uncomfortable all over again.
Though.
Okay, go ahead.
Because now I understand what being uncomfortable. I was never uncomfortable before. Even being uncomfortable, I was never uncomfortable before because I went to public school my whole life. So it was like you just moved to the next grade with all the people you saw the year before. And so it was like even with me barely playing or even with me, my grades, whatever, it's like you can look around and see another 500 people doing the same thing. So it's like you were uncomfortable where you were because you wanted to be somewhere else.
Okay.
Like as a person because you have goals, but yeah, but being uncomfortable for the first time was like, I don't know. And then I guess the environment at that school, at C-Prep, really helped me get over that faster than what a normal uncomfortable.
You didn't know anybody.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, no, I did. I knew Isaac.
Yeah, that's right. You knew one person.
But, I mean, that still doesn't, you go from knowing the whole freshman class to knowing one person, so, in a whole school, so.
And being called on all the time.
But that didn't start till late, but.
Okay.
But all eyes are on you because you're the new kid, so. Yeah.
Okay. So your level of, if this is a word, uncomfortability. No, you were really, really uncomfortable in a way you had never been once you go to C-Prep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
What's the no?
Because the basketball helped a lot.
Okay.
Because I had known basketball, so it was like I could touch something that was comfortable a little bit more.
Okay. Okay. So you shift into this different level of you. I mean, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, you're not arrived. I'm still evolving. Heck, so I mean, we're just constantly taking another step toward our next best self, right? But so what would this guy? And then I want to talk about some of this stuff. But what would this guy say to freshman Brook?
Honestly, I don't know if you can say anything. You just gotta keep going. Honestly, don't give up. That's really the only thing, because you can't control anything else.
Okay. So I want everybody, you see it, y'all see it. We rocking. You gotta put it up, Brooke. Come on, this 1K clothing. It was designed. It was the initial clothing line of Brook Rosemond. Season 1, y'all see it, it's so cool. He's now actually getting ready to come out with another line, but I want to talk about your creativity in other ways, because you know, when I say play big, I mean you know, again, you have now begun to embody that in ways that, I mean, for a parent, I mean, just like, I just never saw a lot of this coming. So you know, for y'all, what you guys don't know, like basketball, and you have to help me, Mark Brook, if I'm saying this wrong. When you play basketball and you play AAU and all this stuff like that, you need, or you want videos, or is that right? What they call highlight film, or is that what you want?
Yeah, you just want, you want mixtapes.
You want exposure.
Yeah.
You want people to see you play. So
That's
a lot of
with
times,
any sport though, but yeah.
for any sport, okay. And you have people a lot of times who will do those for you and cut it up, and also.
Well, it's politics, so.
What you mean?
If you're ranked, you have the name. Yes, you're not paying for those. You're not. I mean, you will sometimes, but I mean, like you can. If you're not ranked, you can go pay somebody $200-$300 to get you one. But at the same time, if you're ranked or whatever, you out pages like Overtime and Ball is Life. They live for that, for the next thing you're gonna do, the next highlight you're gonna make. That's just there.
Right.
So
if you're not that player and you're not paying for it, where's your exposure come from?
hope somebody's in the gym while you're doing it.
Okay. So I love this because I didn't understand.
You can get little clips and like put it on your page, but for you to, I always saw it as like, yeah, it's easy to get, hey, your mom filmed you making a shot, whatever, you put it on your page, but I want the edit. I want everything that they put into theirs to be mine.
That cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you like that? It look
Yeah.
like that. That's what it looks like. So so what's cool about that? And I really just, I mean, when I said play big, so Brook didn't have it. You didn't have any of those videos. You didn't have anybody other than your mom's videos, my videos.
I didn't really start playing crazy good until like I started doing that like 10th grade year.
Okay.
So,
but you didn't have anybody really taking them other than us, your parents, right? And so and you wanted the edited stuff. What's really cool, I want you guys to know, one of the reasons why, like I said, I bring you people who are just doing amazing things, and I mean, to be doing this at 18, 17, 16 years old, that's just was really awesome. So Brook didn't have them, so he taught himself how to make his own. What I keep calling them highlight reels. What do we call them? Is that right? Taught himself how to make his own highlight reels and began editing his own stuff. So talk about that, because you taught yourself how to do this
on accident.
What do you mean?
I don't even remember how I started, but I know that you guys bought Dylan something for Christmas, so it had all the applications from Adobe, and then
shout out to my other heart. That's the other one. Y'all hear from him later. Legacy Edition Part 2. That's 2. Go ahead.
And, I don't even remember. One day, I guess I was putting some clips together or whatever, and then I just started playing with stuff. really I started on Photoshop, and then I realized, hey, what is this one that deals with videos? And then so yeah, that's kind of what that happened.
So you on accident discovered a little bit of a passion for you in creating things.
Well, I mean, it's a passion now, but back then, I guess it was something to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So talk about the videos. So because you also create them for other people, right?
well, not now, but
You did.
yeah, at a
Yeah.
certain point in time, yeah.
Yeah. And what was your goal? I mean, at the end of the day, what was your goal? You said it was something to do, but what was your goal? Why'd you discovered it on accident, but you kept it up?
My goal for creating for other people,
No, just your goal creating the videos,
my goal
period.
was to see if I could make one. That's literally it.
Really?
I didn't know if I could do it.
For you or for
Me. But then when I started being, now it's a horrible video, but like when I started like realizing that, hey, I can actually assemble a video and then I can put a couple edits on it, then like why not put some people on that I know are also good at the sport that they play, but are never gonna get the exposure because of the city we live in or because we don't have the name or yeah. So
that's that thing again that you want to bring everybody along.
Yeah.
And use your gifts to do that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah. So I mean, so some of the stuff that even y'all see from me, I'm gonna lose my video guy. I don't know if there's a better name than that, but my video director
content creator.
My content creator. Thank you. Forgive me. I'm gonna lose my content creator to Howard, but he's created a number of my videos for Rain and just growing every time. So, but you started doing this, and then how we get to clothes and dropping a clothing line? What are we doing?
I guess people always used to tell me I could dress, but then I didn't realize it. Well, it really wasn't even me because for a long time you used to dress me, so that wasn't me.
I was killing them.
And then I realized, like, I don't know. This is really recent. I honestly, like, fashion is really recent. But then I started to fall in love with fashion, so I don't know.
Well, but it came from somewhere. I mean, you don't go from, I like that. I'm going to launch a clothing line. I'm going to schedule a photo shoot.
I'm really big on like music. So the whole, like, even though I don't make music, I listen to a lot of music. And what comes with music is there's a lot of parts to music. You got to be the artist, then you have the wardrobe, and how you look and how you present yourself is like a big part of being an artist in music. And so, like you like Outkast, but if Outkast just dresses normal, you're not drawn to Andre 3000. He's not different, or just any new artist like King Von or whatever. They just, the way they dress, the way they carry themselves is just, that's how they are. So it's like you express yourself. It's just another art form, really.
I get the fashion aspect of it. How do you get to a place where
because I'm starting to get to, that's the next point where I haven't really fully gotten there yet, is the fact that I'm starting to, instead of being so comfortable in behind the scenes, I want to put myself in front. And so fashion is one of the ways, because like I said, I love music, but I'm not making music. That's not something I want to do. But like the fashion aspect of it is something I do like to do. Videography is something I do like to do. So it's like expressing myself through fashion and just different looks and just seeing what I can actually do is kind of just fun to me.
Man, you have started a clothing line.
Yes, but
I mean, come on, man. Come on. So you scheduled a photo shoot. So this is your first line.
Failed line.
I mean, hey, I call it what you need
everybody has to start somewhere.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Yes.
But you're getting ready to launch another one, right?
Yes.
What's it called?
Empirical Beings.
That's right. So this is beyond I like fashion. You are trying to launch. You're launching a brand.
Well, that part. Well, launching a brand came from the whole racism thing with the designers, and everybody was like, are we still going to buy Gucci? No. Are we not? And everybody was like, huh?
What do you mean?
Well, there was a period in time where a lot of designers were coming out with like a lot of designs that had like a lot of like racial things attached to them. And then
like the what was it? Was the Gucci sweater that had the blackface?
I think that was Montclair or whatever. It doesn't matter. They're all the same, really.
Yeah.
But like, then everybody was like, we're buying black, even though a lot of people are still buying Gucci. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just they had to learn their lesson. But at the same time, it's like we're buying black. And then I was like, if they could do it, why can't I? So I just, and you see Supreme, they slap a box logo on something, and it's like, and then I got put onto God is Dope.
I love
a black-owned business in Atlanta. So it's like, it started hitting closer to like I can actually do this, because it's hard to look at Gucci and be like, hey, I can do this, because they're at a really high level of what they do. But then when you see stuff that's closer, not saying God is Dope is not big, I'm just saying it's like it's black owned and it's something I can do. And eventually I want to get to that point where I can like put on fashion shows and you're rocking empirical beings and stuff like that. So
I love it. I love it. So you started saying this earlier, and I just want to make sure I don't gloss over it. You said like no disrespect to people who work 9 to 5s, but I just don't want. I'm gonna make sure I say that right. But you want to create yours. I'm in
a space now where I don't have to right now at all. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but I don't have to right now. So why would I put myself through that if I could start something that's mine?
Yeah. And you know, that to me, I mean, in terms of like playing big, that idea of playing big is just that, right? You're showing up for you. You're making sure that you're being counted, that you're taking up your space, holding your position. And so what is the plan for you? I mean, I'm not expecting you to have your whole life mapped out at 18, but you're getting ready to head to Howard. That's a big deal. So we go all the way from them telling you you're not going to do very well in school. You're never going to have a high enough GPA. You end up with a 3.7 plus. You're the salutatorian, aren't you? Yes. Give me some. We're doing it again. Yes. I'm so proud of you. So what does Brook dream about?
Right now?
Yeah.
Not so much sports, surprisingly. More of like, I don't dream of fame. I don't want fame. I want the whole empires where you can put people on, like just through everything, like fashion. How many people can I give jobs to through fashion? Or how many things can, like, through YouTube, how many people can I help put people on through YouTube? Or like just helping people in general. Giving back to the people that helped me first, and just helping people in general. So I should have had some sort of sound button for like what it means when like you start crying. I don't know what that is, because y'all don't understand. Do you remember this? I used to ask him all the time, what do you dream about? And you would tell me, it almost make you upset. You were scared to dream. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, maybe the dreams felt not realistic, but then I realized that not realistic is not even a real thing for real. That's just,
it just ain't happening.
You can do
yet.
what you want. When
you do what you want.
Do it. Like just because you can.
Yeah,
so.
it just hasn't happened yet. It just, if you're like, oh my gosh, I want to go to the moon and put whatever on it, or I want to go to I don't know, whatever you want to do. You know, I want to paint that, I want to lift that building up and move it over there. You're like, nobody's ever done that. That's just
possible.
It's possible. You just give me a minute.
Yeah.
I love that. But I really literally, so parents, I mean, if you take anything from this, and you know, so let me say this. Everybody dream. If it makes you really, really uncomfortable, that's a good dream. And parents, encourage your kids to dream. It matters so much. So Brook, I mean, we're gonna wrap this up, but I want you to, I mean, I want to talk about, just as you go off to Howard, what are your expectations? What are you looking to gain from that kind of amazing experience?
A good education, but not one to give me a good job, but one to just further help me dream and push me further in what I want to do, entrepreneur-wise. Did I say that right?
It's you can make up words on this show.
Yeah, being an entrepreneur and just helping as many people as I can.
Okay. Awesome. Anything you want to say? I'm gonna give you the last word. They're out there. They're like this. I mean, they just like what? Say something. What do you want to say? You got a little brother that's coming up behind you. Your last word.
Can I have my phone?
I mean, we
I know. I'm trying to tell you what I'm.
This is what This is Standing in the Rain. Everybody with the incomparable Brook Rose. Okay, and his dad's arm.
Okay, you just gonna let the phone die. Okay.
What question are you answering right now?
You said the last words.
Yeah,
okay,
your last words. What are your last words?
Okay, follow me on YouTube. It's Brook, ITZBrook. Okay, that's next. Follow me on Instagram. IM_Brook5. Don't matter about Twitter. It doesn't matter. And then look out for Empirical Beings dropping soon. And just thank you for having me on here.
These are your last words?
Yeah.
Or how to find you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. I ain't mad at it. We're gonna put all the stuff, and I know that's right. We're gonna put everything how to find Brook. You better keep up with this dude, because you're gonna wonder. You're like, you know what? I remember when I watched him. I'm just trying to tell you. I mean, this has been an absolute. You say thank you for having you on here. This has been an absolute honor for me. I mean, honestly, this is a legacy edition. I'm trying to tell you, when you want to understand why I hustle so hard, why we hustle so hard, number one, you're going to meet number two, and I don't mean that in terms of them. That's just, he came second, just absolutely so proud of you. You are going to set this world on fire. And I want you, if you used to hear me yell it on the court, at least I think, do y'all hear us when we yell? Like, no. Say, you don't hear a word we say?
No.
I be saying really good stuff when you were on the court.
I hear the other parents.
You don't hear me?
No.
For real?
No.
I be like, get up! You don't hear none of that?
No, because when you scoring their son, then you gonna hear their mouth. So you hear the other parents.
Oh wow. Well then, this is what I used to be saying to you. Play big, Brook. Play big, Brook. They just say that all the time.
I mean, you can hear people during like timeouts and stuff, but like during the game flow, not really.
You don't remember me saying that?
I mean, I've heard it before.
You hear it now?
Yes, I hear it now.
Play big, Brook. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm so excited for the life ahead of you. You did that thing, dude. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm proud. I love you.
Oh, you too.
I love him. I love y'all. Don't you dare leave. Don't you dare stop vibing with me and standing in the rain. I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna change your life. You have greatness hardwired into your DNA. I am committed to unlocking it. This dude just dropped a whole bunch of bombs for you. And subscribe, listen, find him, follow him, stay up with him. And when the Empirical Beans, that's it, right? Mm-hmm. Empirical Beans drops, get your. I'm gonna say something real cool here. Get your fix. That's it, right?
You don't.
Nobody says that?
Put your fists together.
Put your fists together. That's right. You gonna dance with me? Come on, we gonna dance it out. Come on, bro. Come on, just a little bit. Give me some.